It's another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of our live Saturday broadcast from InWheelTime.com. From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning all things automotive car talk show, In Wheel Time. And just ahead, a review of our new car of the week, the 2020 Nissan Versa, this week in automotive history, and stories making automotive news headlines, including a few guests. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time car show for Saturday, October 3rd, 2020. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, and Jeff Zekin sitting off camera this morning. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us. We really appreciate it. And we're going to get right to our guest, and his name is Kory Woodside, and he is with Vintage Motorworks in Beaumont, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. And Kory, it's great to see you. I love the poster, and you're looking pretty good yourself. We appreciate that look. How's that? Is that okay? Without me trying to insult you anymore. I didn't mean that, but it's good to have you here anyway.
Thank you. I've always been told to have the face for radio. So,
well,
welcome to the club.
Exactly. That's all of us. Yeah, that's why we have this show, just so we can kind of hide, for the most part, behind the curtain. So, Kory, Vintage Motorworks in Beaumont. Give me a little background. Give me some history.
I've been in business almost 10 years. We do a little bit of everything from basic maintenance to full frame off restorations, LS swaps, Crown Vic swaps, custom paint. If you want it done, we'll do it. So
in other words, you're the next Motor Trend car show that they're going to have over from Beaumont, Texas. I mean, we got the guys from Austin. We got folks in Dallas. We just don't have anybody from Beaumont yet. It looks like you're set to go.
Sounds good to me.
So tell me a little bit about your shop. How many square feet? How many employees? And give me some, for instance, what do you got cooking out in the shop right now?
Right now, I've got a 51 Chevy pickup 5-window that we just put a 383 stroker in with the fuel injection and vintage AC and paintless wiring harness. Got a 53 5-window that we're doing a complete frame off on, all original, the straight six. I've got a 77 Bronco that came in a couple weeks ago from Colorado that we're doing a bunch of body work and mechanical work to and custom paint. I've got a 85 Mazda B2000 that we've put a 80s model Ford 302 with an automatic transmission in.
Oh, that'll be
Yeah, expand on that one a little bit, Kory. You were showing me that one whenever I was over there the other day.
Yeah, from a great customer of mine. He bought the truck brand new, and he's driven it all over the country, and it had a lot of sentimental value. And the four-cylinder had gone out on it. He couldn't drive the standard anymore because of his leg with the clutch, so he decided he wanted something a little bit more, and we talked him into going with the Fox Body 302. Nothing too crazy, just a mild cam and a little port and polished heads, and just something fun to get him around town.
Yeah,
that sounds really. So
if you look at it, I mean, it's kind of, it's well used, shall we say? It's showing its miles on the body on it, so it's kind of a sleeper.
Well, I have a friend of mine that's got a B2000, and I'll tell you what, they didn't do too well in rust prevention on those trucks, and most of them have melted away, but apparently this one is pretty cool. It looks like we're going to go on a little tour.
Oh, good. Going to show us some stuff out in the shop.
You have to excuse me. This is my first Zoom meeting, so I'll do my best, but this is the Mazda.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised that motor actually fits under the hood.
Wasn't the B2000, wasn't that also a sister to the Ford Ranger, or was that the one just before that?
This is before they came out with the Ranger and the Mazda that were the same.
Okay.
So Kory, the Victoria swaps you're doing, you had one out in front of the shop, and then you had one that you were working on, with the Crown Victorias.
I've got two over here I can show you. The one that I showed you out front, the step side, I've got it right here.
So what are you swapping onto a Crown Victoria?
This is a 67 Ford F100 step side body.
And the whole body fits on because the wheelbase is close enough?
Yes, sir.
Oh, how cool. I never realized that. What a good idea that is, because you get all of the ride and handling of a Crown Vic.
Of a police car.
And the body of what appears to be an old beater truck.
Yeah, I love that. So did you have to do any massaging to the frame?
Not on the step side. We took a little bit off the front where the bumpers go and the rear. And besides that, it fits pretty well.
How funny.
This one we built it was a Rush. It's one of my vehicles. It was sitting out in the field for over 30 years, and it was a parts truck. And so I decided one of the car shows I sponsor, I wanted to build something real quick. So we slapped it together 2 weeks while working on customers' vehicles.
You know, this place over here called Vintage Motorworks in Beaumont, this looks like the kind of place that we could take an actual road trip. I mean, literally get a bunch of guys in some really nice cruiser-type cars, and we come over there and knock on your door on Sunday morning about 10 o'clock, have us some crawfish and a few beers, and just hang out over there and tour your shop. You good with that?
That sounds like a good time to me.
Because we know how you Beaumont people are. Mike Mars over here has introduced us to the culture, and it seems like everybody's always welcome.
Most definitely.
And you guys have, there's a number of shows over there in Beaumont on a pretty regular interval. There's a Beaumont cruise in. There's a Nederland cruise in. There's one up in.
You almost said Needville. Didn't
I know. I
You
almost said
almost
Needville.
did.
And then there's also one up in Lumberton. So there's enough. There's a pretty good car culture going on over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this area that we love our classic cars. So,
do you guys ever You've got to know car clubs and groups over there. Any of you guys ever come over to Houston just to kind of stir the pot a little bit over here?
I don't know about stirring the pot, but I know some of them, they go out there. I've got a lot of customers that go out there just to enjoy what the shows out there and the different food and stuff like that. And I know a few car clubs locally that are nationwide, and they go all over to support the rest of their clubs. So.
Now, that would be a great club in itself, the out-of-town cruisers, right? So he's got clubs or a few clubs or maybe just one club over there in Beaumont. They come over here, party with us a little bit, one weekend, and then a couple weekends, maybe a month later, we gather up some folks. We go over there and party with them.
Well, and Prince's would be a good location for them to come to because it starts a little bit later in the morning, gives them time to come to town and
not only that, but it also includes some freeway driving. If you get my drift.
Well, that's part of the cruise. A lot of clubs they want to go for a ride somewhere and get their cars out on the highway.
Yeah, and Mr. Mars can actually show his legs here and get some on-ramp acceleration tests with whatever he's driving. So I want to know, what is the connection between Kory and Mars? How did you guys meet?
I actually saw some of the stuff he was doing on Facebook, and then I tied him in. The Spindle Top Rod Run is like coming up on 30 years, I believe, isn't it, Kory? Something like that?
Something like that. I don't know the exact time.
So I used to cover them when I was doing freelance work. It's a big rod club. They were pretty big pre-hurricane. They've kind of gotten down smaller. I think they have like 150, 200 cars at their annual event. And Kory's one of their sponsors and stuff. So our paths kind of crossed without realizing it.
Go look at this one behind you.
Yeah, I would just kind of. Well, first of all, the red caught my eye, and then I see what it is. Give us a little tour of that red rod you got behind you.
So this is a 36 Ford Coupe, 383 stroker.
Man, that is beautiful. Oh, my gosh, look at that
nice interior.
Yeah.
Did
he do that?
Did you do this?
Do you do the interior work as well?
I did not on this car. The customer bought it this way. It came in. We had to pull the motor and fix all it. Basically, if it had held fluid, it was leaking, and fix the AC and fix some frame work that needed to be done because whoever built it, it looks good, but it needed quite a bit of work. And so we've been trying to get it to where it's roadworthy and fun to drive again.
Well, Kory, we need to take a quick break. We want you to hang on for just a second, and while we do this, because I want to learn a little bit more about you, so stay with us. Sorry, I've had a little
Man,
No,
I
I got
love my
it.
kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
You know, I used to be a little bit more ambidextrous than I am this morning. I knew there would be something going wrong, but yeah. So I'm pushing the wrong button and the wrong slide fader and all that sort of thing.
And we go quiet for about 10
It's
seconds.
like yeah, one of those.
Makes
kind
it
of things.
easier to edit.
But he was quick to pot us down so you couldn't hear us. Even though we were quiet, we're talking because we're trying to save him from being silent on the air.
So welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Show. We really appreciate you joining us today. Our guest is Kory Woodside. He's with Vintage Motorworks over in Beaumont, Texas, and we really appreciate it. So, Kory, I wanted to ask you, how did you get involved in all of this? Have you always been a car guy like the rest of us?
Yes, sir. Grew up working on our old stuff. Growing up, my dad didn't take cars to mechanics. We fixed it ourselves, and I learned to weld when I was 10, learned to drive a standard when I was 11, and just kind of been going at it, like that. I had another shop about 20 years ago before I got in the dealerships, and after doing that, I decided I wanted to get back into having my own shop, and so here I am.
So, I mean, did you actually go to any kind of, like a UTI or some sort of school or anything, or is this all kind of like us, just do it yourself?
I did go to Lamar University, Lamar Institute of Technology for diesel mechanics for a few years. I was already a diesel mechanic, but I just wanted to get the certification and learn as much as I could. So I did that. But the hot rods and the paint and body and the fabrications, all just self-taught.
And Lamar is the facility over there in the Golden Triangle that really does feed the automotive industry. They're somewhat well known within the Golden Triangle for being a place to go to find.
And they're also nationally known for their engineering, and that's part of all of that.
Interesting.
So
What engineering and nursing.
What dealerships did you work at?
I worked for Classic Chevrolet. I worked for Philpott Ford. I was a shop foreman for Alan Samuels when it was still around. Okay. Mike Smith.
Oh, what years did you work at Classic and Mike Smith?
Wow. I was at Classic, I guess about 12, 15 years ago, and Mike Smith was right after that.
Oh, well, we may have crossed paths. I was the GM field engineer that called on a Classic 12 to 15 years ago. So we probably did cross paths at some point.
Probably so.
Well,
so what about the little Volkswagen you got sitting back there behind you, the little two-tone?
So this actually came in from Minnesota on a transport truck a few weeks ago. We're going to do a fuel injection swap on it. We're going to do disc brake conversion, repaint it, do some interior work, things like that. Change out all the lights. The lady, wants her to be her daily driver. So
now how in the world did somebody in Michigan learn about Vintage Motorworks in Beaumont? How did she learn that?
Word of mouth. I have customers from Florida and from Arizona. I've had 2 from Canada. So I actually get more work from out of town and out of state than I do locally.
Well, congratulations. It must mean, the customers that you have taken care of have been pretty happy because that word of mouth is so valuable today, especially in the automotive business. It can help you or it can kill you.
Yeah, exactly. And like I was saying earlier, I've got a 77 Bronco that came in from Colorado. I've gotten quite a few from the Colorado area and Houston and Dallas and Lake Charles. The red 36 Ford behind me is from Lake Charles. So.
You didn't get any 77 Broncos from Los Angeles that are white in color, did you?
No, sir, I haven't.
Yeah, you get my humor in that, I assume.
Yes, sir. I actually had a customer was about to bring his all-original 58 Porsche to me from somewhere. I don't know much about California. I apologize, but it got burned, and it's just a pile of ash now. But he was in the process of getting a transport truck to bring it to me to do a full restoration on when it burned down a couple weeks ago.
What a shame.
Yeah, it's a loss.
A lot of cars were lost out there. I followed a number of them. Couple of big collections were lost.
So, so any other cars that you want to point out to us? We like looking.
Yeah, we're looky-loos.
Like I said, this is the Bronco from Colorado.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a nice-looking Bronco, too.
I've got a 94 that's been in the storage building for 10-plus years that we got to do the rust repair and rebuild the motor and transmission and all interior.
So it's kind of a garage find.
Yeah. And this is a 69 F100 that long wheelbase that we're doing on a Crown Vic swap. We're having to extend the frame rails to hold the truck. And
I find that fascinating because when I was driving Ford trucks, I like to go down with them instead of going up. And the way the front suspension is set up on those with the torsion bars, it was really hard to get them to drop all the way down unless you ripped it out and redid it. And to me, that Crown Victoria setup, you can go in there with an air suspension. You got the motor. You got the ride. To me, that's fascinating.
Well, plus the chassis are somewhat available because there's a pretty popular car, not only in the private industry, but you're looking at, you're going to look at some old police cars and some old taxi cars that are still going to be out there. There's actually a whole industry of rebuilding them.
Talk
as police
about
cars.
building a sleeper truck.
Yeah.
So, Kory, how many guys you got working with you?
Right now, I just have 3. It's hard to find good help nowadays. Last year, I had 6. I had to get rid of a couple of them.
Are you a hard guy to work for?
No, I try to be as understanding and as laid back as I can be. But, if you're stealing from me or you're just not doing the job very well, I'm not going to keep you on.
Well, of course. Yeah. That would go with anything. So do you have a shop dog?
I did. But
he got stolen by your employees.
Well, no, he was chewing up the wires and tail lights on trailers and getting on the hoods of cars, and so I had to bring him home and just put him in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I did a piece a couple of months ago about animals eating the electrical wires in some cars because they've gone with a soy-based coating on them. So I'm sure your dog was just munching away on them.
Well, we knew we would pull.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, that's a new one on us. Well, Kory, it is great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's Vintage Motorworks in Beaumont. So, website, Facebook page, how do we get a hold of you?
Yes, sir. We have a website, vintagemotorworks.us. We have a Facebook page. We're on Instagram, a little bit of Twitter, and there's a couple others that I don't really know off the top of my head.
Because somebody else probably does it for you.
They help me with it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's great to talk to you. Hey, let's get together soon. Let's do one of those swapping kind of car show cruise-in things one of these days.
Sounds awesome.
All right. Thanks again.
Thanks,
Kory
Kory.
Woodside, Vintage Motorworks in Beaumont, Texas. We continue the In Wheel Time show in just a couple of seconds. If you'd like to feature your car-related business on our show, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Coming up, we're going to review the redesigned Nissan Versa, tell you all about that, my experience behind the wheel, after a quick stop here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Way to go, Don.
911, what's your emergency?
God, there's a train that just hit a car.
Sir, what is your location? Look around for a street sign, sir.
It's 8th and Orchard. 8th and Orchard.
Okay, very good. 8th and Orchard. Sir, help is on the way.
Why would he do that? The train still doesn't stop. You have to get there now.
At a railway crossing, even if the engineer sees you and hits the brakes, it can take a mile for the train to stop. And for you, that's too late. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Thanks for joining us for today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Glad that you could make it along. We really appreciate that. Time now for this hour's car review, and I had a chance to drive the 2020 Nissan Versa. Is it the Versa?
Versa.
It's the Sentra. Sentra, sorry. It's the Nissan Sentra. See there? I had the Versa, and I crossed it out and put Sentra. I had to look because I've had both.
Yeah, because he teased the Versa.
Jeff, don't worry about the video.
You know, it's been stressful. Or I've drank too much, or I haven't had enough sleep.
Or all three.
Tourette's or something. I don't know. But
no video.
So, is that what?
It's the wrong car.
That's the Versa.
Okay, so we're not going to have the showpiece called the Nissan Sentra. Well, I'm sorry. So the available trim levels are going to be the S, the SV, and the SR. I had the 2.0-liter SR CVT. So you get the chance to look at me as I do this car review.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, this is considered a mid-size car.
Sentra is a mid-size?
Sentra is now a mid-size car.
It's
well, what
still
they
compact.
call it's still a compact.
Yeah.
Because the Versa would be the subcompact
Right.
in my mind. 5 passengers, completely redesigned for 2020, by the way. So sharp-looking grille with the chrome accent, very familiar look, but it's a new twist to the old Nissan theme.
I thought it looked very good when you had it.
I did too.
Car.
Exactly, and I wish that I could show it to you.
You have to take our word for it.
You know, I was all
good
excited
looking.
about today's show, and I knew something would screw it up, and guess who did?
Off the rails.
Me. Attractive side sculpting on it, rear deck spoiler, 18-inch alloy wheels on the upper trim, distinctive lower valance at the bottom of the rear bumper. What I liked about it, the overall modern look. They really modernized this thing. It really is a good-looking car. Now, what could use improvement? Not a fan of this two-tone blacked-out roof option that they have, making it a two-tone car.
But that floating roof that Nissan's been doing.
See, they've
as well.
gone away with the floating roof, which was a little black strip between the actual roof
and
that went across
panel.
there in the C-pillar. They've done away with that. Now they just painted the roof black.
Didn't like it.
I'm just not a big fan. Just keep it all one color, please. Interior, attractive quilted pattern seat upholstery on the upper trim levels, contrasting stitching on the dash and trim, faux carbon fiber accent in the cabin. This is an upscale car, really. It has become that. Infotainment system is easy to use. Cargo trunk room, adequate and competitive for its size. What I liked about it, I think it gets high marks for the comfort level inside this car. What could use improvement? A little bit more lumbar support for old men. 2.0-liter inline 4-cylinder engine with only 149 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. But there's a payoff. With the CVT transmission, it gets 28 miles per gallon city, 37 on the highway. For a combined of 32, I got 37.6 miles per gallon over 332.1 miles. What I liked about it, mileage.
Yeah, no kidding.
What could use
good looking.
Yeah, what could use improvement? Maybe a little more power through maybe a hybrid option. I don't know. Of course, all that would add,
weight and price.
Cost,
the money. Ride and handling, comfort level is high in this car. I really like this car. What could use improvement in the ride and handling? Nothing. It's great. Base trim price, $21,430. Price is tested. This is the loaded up version now. $25,825. How do you go wrong with that?
Yeah, really, just a $4,000
The base model price is $20,370. Competitors: Toyota Corolla, $20,050. Honda Civic, $22,250, and the Hyundai Elantra for $20,050. So they're all right there. But I think that if you shop these other brands and look price comparison, all of that, I think that you're going to go for this car, the 2020 Nissan Sentra.
Our youngest back in the day, whenever we were getting kids started, she found one and picked out one. I mean, it was a Sentra.
When you were getting kids started?
For driving. And it had the manual gearbox. It had a 4-speed in it, and it was white. I mean, it was pretty plain Jane. But she drove the crap out of that thing.
And forever.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Time now for the racing calendar, the National Racing Calendar. Conrad.
So IndyCars this weekend is at Indy Road Course, which is the old Formula One road course where they go the other direction and turn left and right. Yeah, they ran yesterday. They'll run again today, and I think they'll run final is tomorrow is today, and then 2 weeks they'll be at St. Petersburg, Florida. Formula One, the Eiffel Grand Prix.
Eiffel? As in Eiffel Tower?
As in Eiffel Tower, except they're going to run it at the Nürburgring in Germany. But
what? The hell? Is somebody smoking something, or what is that?
NASCAR is at Talladega tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And that's Dega. Is going to be a lot of fun. The other good news is, if you read any of the news in automotive, that NASCAR is coming to Circuit of the Americas up in Austin, and that is going to be on the 23rd of the 23rd of May of 2021. So hopefully when 2020 is behind us, we'll see NASCAR at COTA. That should be a lot of fun. And then also next weekend, NASCAR is going to be at Charlotte. IMSA is going to be at Charlotte next weekend. And then NHRA today and tomorrow, they're in Madison, Illinois, which ultimately is St. Louis for the Midwest Nationals. And then on the 18th, they're going to be at Ennis. And then on the 25th, they're going to be 24th and 25th, they're going to be in Baytown. So they're going to be local and close. And we'll be talking with Seth Angel here in a little bit to see what's going on at NHRA at Baytown. And then the finals for NHRA is going to be November 1st in Las Vegas this year instead of Pomona.
Because they're not going to extend the season to Pomona. Yeah.
So lots of good stuff going on. One of the other things in international racing is Honda is pulling out of Formula One at the conclusion of the 2021 year, which is going to leave a couple of teams without engines. So they'll have to figure out what to do because Honda provides engines for the Red Bull team.
And I got that story as well. So my question is, if they're pulling out of Formula One with the Honda engines, what about IndyCar?
Yeah, because and Honda's actually been a bit of a dominant force in IndyCar the last couple of years, and to a large degree have displaced Chevrolet as the primary engine provider.
Well, it's only Chevy and IndyCar.
Yeah, but there's more people running Hondas than are running Chevys, and that's kind of a flip over the last few years.
I think they need to bring back some of those old classic engine builders from the day. Ilmore and Cosworth and all those guys.
Well, to a large degree anymore, IndyCars is a bit of a spec series. You can have a Honda motor or a Chevy motor, but it's basically one chassis. But it's one fast chassis. So, IndyCar.
Back to all that parity and what works.
And that's what they're trying to do. When we were talking to Alec, was talking about how do you make it about the driver and less about the car with the balance of performance. Well, they do the same balance of performance at IndyCar between the Hondas and the Chevys, and then they either add weight or air restrictors.
Well, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. And Wheel Time Car Show continues after this quick break. Hey, thanks for checking us out. Don Armstrong saying be sure and join us live every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on YouTube, Facebook, and InWheelTime.com. Our podcasts are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. We'll see you next time.